According to the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse, 1 in 4 Americans will have an alcohol or other drug problem at some point in their lives. In addition, drug abuse costs multiple billions of dollars every year. And then there is the personal and social cost. With us today are 2 guests from Samaritan Village, an agency that provides comprehensive services for substance abusers. They are here to talk about how they're helping New Yorkers overcome their addictions to drug and alcohol. Roy Kearse is Vice President of Residential Treatment at Samaritan Village, and Janine Holloman is a house counselor at their Ed Thompson Veterans Center. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Sandra.
I'm going to start with you, Janine, because you have been at Samaritan Village both as a customer or patient,
yes,
as well as a counselor. What led you to Samaritan for help?
Actually, my years of substance abuse and realizing that, things were just turning for the worse for me. And then, unfortunately, an attempted suicide was like what you might call your rock bottom, was my rock bottom.
Now, you're a young woman.
Not that young, but yes.
You're young. But I understand your abuse started at the age of 13.
Absolutely.
And how many years ago was it that you hit your rock bottom?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yes.
And since that time?
And since that time, I've been successfully clean and also working as a house counselor to help provide services for those at Samaritan, as was provided to myself at Samaritan Village.
What led you to want to kill yourself, and how did you try to kill yourself, and what stopped you and said, I'm going to get help instead?
Well, with myself, along with others that may have experienced substance abuse as I did, you just get to a point in your life where you feel helpless. You just feel like you can't go on because there's no outlet. And again, I have to attribute, with my higher power and beliefs that I still sustained within myself, and also going to Samaritan Village helped me turn around and see a brighter picture.
Now, Roy, is Shanine's story the kind of story that makes you feel good about the work that you do?
Absolutely. We're proud at Samaritan Village that we're able to help some of the neediest New Yorkers. Everyone at one time or another is going to have a family member, a friend, or someone who's been affected by the disease of drug addiction. Often people don't know how to get the help that's needed. Samaritan Village has been specializing in providing this help for over 50 years now. We have locations throughout the city of New York and a location in upstate. We have 22 locations, in fact. And we have helped thousands of New Yorkers on their journey to recovery and fighting this disease of addiction. But earlier you mentioned the fact about Janine and her story. There are many people through addiction who are driven through desperation and hopelessness to want to commit suicide. And what we try to provide at Samaritan Village under the leadership of our President Tino Hernandez, the former chairman of the New York City Housing Authority, is direction and a vision to help people and hope to inspire them and encourage them that there's another way to deal with their problem other than through using drugs.
Now, Janine, this is a question kind of for both of you. Janine, you started at 13. You were smoking marijuana. Most people will say, well, marijuana's not addictive. I can start, I can stop. How did you find that drug, and do you think that was the gateway to other things, or what?
Well, I found that drug through people in my community, so-called friends.
Did you feel like you could stop anytime you wanted? It wasn't that big a deal, or did you start with that high and you needed a bigger high? Or
Well, I started that high, and yes, marijuana, also like alcohol, is a gateway, and if you continue that usage and depending on, the abuse of it, you will graduate to other substance abuse, and it will turn for the worse.
Now, is Janine the typical person that comes through your program? Or is there a typical person? Are you seeing people of all ages, all ethnicities?
All walks of life. Everyone is affected by addiction. At Samaritan Village, we've actually specialized in services for distinct populations in the substance abuse community. Like Janine herself, she's a veteran, served in the military and the Navy. So we have a program. We've actually dedicated 123 dedicated beds to serving veterans who are affected by substance abuse. We have an all-women's program for women who are veterans with substance abuse problem. We have 2 distinct locations, one in Manhattan here and one in Queens, to serve veterans, because this is a population that people often do not realize that they come home when they find themselves entrapped in homelessness and other social problems. They turn to drugs to deal with those problems, and they need help.
I understand there's also, you deal specifically with seniors with substance
Yes,
abuse issues.
we have seniors with substance, and we have senior programs not dedicated to substance abuse, just providing social services, meals, and those types of things. And we provide vocational rehab services in all of our programs. We provide medical services with our partners in the community.
And if someone wanted to ask for help at Samaritan Village or seek out your services, how do they go about doing that?
They can reach us through our missions department, which is located in Queens. We have a 1-800 number. We're on the website. They can look up Samaritan Village. I'd be happy to give the number.
And does it cost?
There's,
We'll get that number.
they could call 718-206-2000 is our central headquarters number.
718-206-2000.
It's our central headquarters number. But they could, our services are funded primarily through the New York State Office of Alcoholism and Substance Abuse Services.
Is there a cost for the services?
Now, we do take people on a sliding scale basis or through Medicaid services, but the state pretty much pays for most of the services we provide.
And Shanine, just last, very quickly, this work is satisfying for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been working as a house counselor with Samaritan at Thompson's Veteran Services since last year, and not only do I enjoy providing service to those that, suffer as I did, but also to veterans, because I am a veteran of the United States Navy. So to actually get the best of both worlds, so to speak, for lack of better words, providing the service to substance abuse and also to veterans who are, my fellow comrades.
Okay. Thank you both for being
And
here.
the last thing I would just mention is anybody who needs help out there, they should not be afraid to ask for help.
Okay. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandra.
Next on here now, we'll tell you about the